It's 1 a.m. on the 1st of November, 1943. The USS Borie races through a storm-tossed North Atlantic, hunting a deadly enemy. The night is pitch black, and the cold waves lash against the ship, making the already treacherous seas even more unforgiving. The mission is simple.
Find and destroy the German U-boat U-405.
A Type 7 sea submarine under the command of Corvette Captain Rolf Heinrich Hauptmann. The Borie's crew, fully aware of the danger, must survive a brutal cat-and-mouse chase where only one side can make it out alive, as the Borie presses forward through the storm. A battle unfolds between two ships where courage and sacrifice will determine who will emerge victorious. But in these deadly waters, there's no room for error. Will the Borie's crew outlast the relentless hunt, or will the U-405 slip into the depths? The USS Borie, a Fletcher-class destroyer, races through the treacherous storm in the North Atlantic, the waves crashing against its hull with ruthless force. The ship's radar flickers in the darkness, scanning for any sign of the enemy. The crew is tense, each member aware of the dangerous mission at hand. Destroy the German U-boat U-405, a deadly Type 7 sea submarine commanded by Captain Rolf Heinrich Hauptmann. Lieutenant Charles Harris Hutchkins, just 30 years old, stands at the helm. His sharp eyes track the radar closely, every movement critical in these volatile conditions. The storm howls, and the seas are unforgiving, but Hutchkins remains focused. His crew knows that any misstep could be their last. Contact 8,000 yards, the radar operator calls out. The crew springs into action. The Borie has found its target. Hutchkins, his voice steady despite the rising tension, issues a command. Flank speed, Hutchkins orders. The Borie surges forward, cutting through the 15-foot waves, its engines roaring in defiance of the storm. Below, aboard the U-405, Captain Hauptmann knows that the storm is the perfect cover for recharging the submarine's batteries. Surfacing, he and his crew remain unaware of the Borie's approach until a sound breaks the silence. Alarms! Alarms! The hydrophone operator warns. The Germans scramble, realizing that the Borie is closing in on them. Hauptmann reacts quickly, ordering the submarine to dive deeper. Dive! Dive! Hauptmann commands. The U-405 plunges deeper into the icy waters, disappearing from sight. The Borie's radar goes blank. The U-405 no longer visible. Contact lost, sir, the sonar operator reports. The Borie's crew is on edge. The U-boat has submerged, meaning the Germans are aware of their presence. The game has turned into a deadly chase. Hutchkins knows that finding the U-405 again is now a matter of survival. Course correction, bearing 265. Hutchkins orders. Minutes stretch on, the tension rising with each passing second. The only sound is the eerie ping of the sonar. Hutchkins checks the radar again, determined to find their prey. Finally, the sonar operator announces a breakthrough. Sonar contact, 2,000 yards, bearing 170. The sonar operator announces. The Borie is closing in. Hutchkins knows this could be their chance to end the battle. Prepare depth charges, port side, Hutchkins orders. The crew jumps into action, preparing the depth charges. The ship is now only 600 yards from the U-405. Hutchkins feels the weight of the decision. One misstep, and they could lose the opportunity to strike. 200 yards. Fire! Hutchkins orders, his voice firm and commanding. The depth charges are released, splashing into the sea near the U-405. The underwater explosions rock the submarine, sending shockwaves through the vessel's hull. On the Borie, the ship shakes violently. Flooding! We've taken on water, a German sailor shouts. The U-405 surfaces, its damage evident, but it remains afloat. Hauptmann orders his crew to man the 20mm anti-aircraft guns, preparing to fight back as the storm intensifies. Return fire. All guns, local control. Hutchkins commands. The Borie's 20mm cannons unleash a relentless barrage, knocking out the German deck gun. Chaos erupts on the U-405, but the Germans continue to fight back, their numbers dwindling. Hutchkins knows the battle can't end here. He watches the U-405 closely, then gives the order. "Ram it," Hutchins commands. The Borie surges forward, crashing into the U-405 with a deafening impact. Inside the Borie, Chief Engineer Kenneth Miles Lucas feels the shockwave. Water begins flooding the ship's bow. "Repair team, now!" Lucas calls urgently. But the U-405 refuses to go down. Hobman orders his men to fight in close quarters, using anything they can find: Tommy guns, flare pistols, kitchen knives. Despite the Borie's advantage, the U-405 remains afloat. Hutchins realizes one final push is needed. "Prepare torpedoes," Hutchins orders. The Borie inches closer to the sinking U-405, its guns still firing. Hobman orders one last desperate maneuver, hoping to escape the Borie's grasp. "Evasive maneuvers. Brace for impact," Hobman commands. The U-405 turns sharply to evade, but Hutchins is ready. He orders the searchlight to go off, plunging the battlefield into darkness. "Turn off the searchlight," Hutchins commands. The U-405 is disoriented, and Hobman struggles to react. Hutchins orders the searchlight back on. "Now, turn on the searchlight," Hutchins commands. The beam illuminates the U-405, caught in the light. Hobman knows the battle is nearly over. Hutchins swings the Borie into position and delivers the final blow. "Fire depth charges," Hutchins orders. The depth charges explode, sending the U-405 tumbling. The submarine begins to list, and it's clear it cannot survive this strike. Hobman orders his men to abandon ship. "Prepare to abandon ship," Hobman calls out. The U-405 sinks beneath the waves. The Borie moves closer, ready to assist, but just then, the lookout spots another torpedo. "Incoming torpedo!" The lookout shouts. A second German submarine has entered the fray. Hutchins reacts immediately. "Turn the ship. Steer the stern toward the torpedo," Hutchins commands. The Borie turns sharply, trying to protect itself. But in the process, it veers directly toward the German life rafts. "Abort rescue. Turn away from the rafts," Hutchins orders. It's too late. The Borie's stern strikes the rafts, sending the German survivors into the sea. The decision to leave them behind is painful, but the Borie's mission must take precedence. The Borie moves away, but the damage is severe. Water pours into the hull, and the ship's sinking becomes inevitable. Lucas and his team work frantically to contain the flooding, but it's clear the ship won't last much longer. "Repair team, continue your work," Lucas calls out. Hutchins knows the time has come to abandon ship. "All hands, abandon ship," Hutchins orders. The crew evacuates, but 27 men are lost to the ocean. Despite the victory, the Borie sinks into the cold sea. Hutchins and Lucas survive, with Hutchins later awarded the Navy Cross. The victory, however, is bittersweet, as the storm claims the Borie and its crew. The U-405 and its crew meet a tragic fate as well, drifting in the storm-tossed sea. Both crews paid the ultimate price, but their actions will echo through history as a testament to the courage and sacrifice that define the harsh realities of war.